Hello my dear students, welcome to biology classes. My dear students, as we are seeing that the competitive examinations and competitive notifications has been going on right now in the both Telugu states, that is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and also the notification, whatever the notifications are there, the part of the competitive examinations, science plays an important role. Among the science, biology is a subject which plays an important role in all other competitive examinations, like school assistant from the DSC and the SGT from the DSC, and right now Gurukula notification is also going on both the states. And with the concerning on that particular subject, in the biology, I am going to deal you about the circulatory system. What is that? Circulatory system. In the circulatory system, we need to know the definition of the circulatory system. We should know the definition of the circulation. You know what? Whatever the food we are taking into our body, that gets ingested and digested in our body. And ultimately, after the complete digestion of the food, that gets digested in our stomach and small intestines, ultimately it produces glucose. What is that? Produces glucose. And hence, whatever the glucose is synthesized in the small intestine, it has to circulate different parts of the body. It has to circulate different parts of the body. And now my question is, how would you circulate the glucose into different parts of the body from the small intestine? And this is my question. And so that we are going to confine that the particular glucose has to be circulated to the different parts of the body. So there is a need of some other substance, or there is a need of some media, or there is a need of something to transport the particular glucose into different parts of the body. And here I am saying that for the transportation of the glucose which is produced in the small intestine, blood is needed, because blood is a fluid connective tissue. What is that? Blood is a fluid connective tissue. And what is the meaning of fluid connective tissue? And here blood is considered as fluid connective tissue. What is that? Fluid connective tissue. And here the term indicates what is this connective, what is this tissue, what is this fluid. That means the fluid which connects the particular substances to the different tissues of the body, and hence it is called as fluid connective tissue. And this type of fluid connective tissue carries the glucose, whatever the glucose is synthesized in the small intestine, that is carried out by the presence of blood. Okay, fine. And now how does the blood passes from one part to the another part? And again, there is a need of some other pipe-like structures or some other tube-like structures, and that is called as blood vessels. What is that? Blood vessels. And here the need of blood vessels, there is a pipe-like structures, those are present in our body, which carries the blood from the one part to the different parts of the body. And here in this context, glucose has to be transported from one place to the another place, from the like small intestines to the different body parts, so that the glucose gets transported along with the blood, where the blood passes to the pipe-like structures, that is called as blood vessels. Understand? And that these blood vessels reaches to the or arrives to the different parts of the body, even in the sensitive organs also. For example, for instance, if we have a look on our eyes, that means the eyes, whatever the eyes are there, the blood has to supply to the different parts of the body, as well as the blood is also supplied to the eye of our body, and that is present in the occipital bone. So that the blood has to be transported into the eye also, but it is a sensitive part. Then how can the blood passes to the eye? That means the arteries or the blood vessels is having a small fiber-like structures, that is called blood capillaries, and those blood capillaries carries the glucose into the sensitive parts. And here we have discussed that blood vessels and blood capillaries. But my question is, who is sending the blood into different parts of the body? Is there any other organ that sends the blood from the one part to the another part? Yes, there is one organ that is named as the heart. What is that? Heart. Heart is an organ which sends the blood from the one part to the different parts, or the blood also sends different various chemical substances from the one part to the another part. Like that, this is called as heart, and it is the muscular organ, and it sends the blood from one part to the another part. So that heart is considered as pumping organ. You know what? And it was the busiest organ in our body. What is that? Busiest organ in our body. And also the heart is a restless organ in our body. What is that? Restless organ in our body. And how would you say that heart is restless? This is the restless organ in our body. And how would you confine that heart is the restless organ? Because as we are moving, as we are doing the works, as we are having the life, as we are doing the metabolic activities, how all the metabolic activities can be conducted within the presence of the heartbeat only. So that if the heartbeat is there, all these activities are there, so that it could be called as restless organ. Understand? And this particular heart sends the different substances from one part to the another part. And let me say what were the different substances that is carried out or that gets sent by the heart. And the substances are blood and some other chemicals like glucose. What is that? Glucose, and enzymes, and hormones, and some substances that are affiliated with the carbon, and some substances like nitrogen, and some substances like oxygen, and carbon dioxide. What is that? Carbon dioxide. And also some chemical coordinators. What is that? Chemical coordinators. These are all the substances that get sent by the presence of the heart. So that the heart is considered as the pumping organ. What is that? Pumping organ. And now we had seen that the term heart and another term blood and blood vessels. What is that? Blood vessels. And these three comes under in a single unit called as circulation. What is that? Circulation. And the system which is affiliated with the circulation, the system which is associated with the circulation is called as circulatory system. What is that? Circulatory system. And this is the heading, or this is the meaning of the topic. That means you can say simply that circulatory system plays an important role in the transportation of the substances from the one organ to the different organs, as well as, for instance, the example is the glucose has to be supplied to the different parts of the body from the small intestine, where the food gets digested in the stomach and later on the small intestines. Understand? And now in this context we are going to discuss about the scientists and whoever worked on the circulatory system. There are majorly three scientists are there who are associated with the circulatory system. They contribute major portion of the work on the circulatory system. The scientists are, the first person for the circulatory system is William Harvey. Who is that? William Harvey. And in this context I am going to teach you the details of the William Harvey. What is that name? William Harvey. And he belongs to England. Where does he belong to? England. In which country does he belongs to? England. And also William Harvey is considered as the father of blood circulation. Father of blood circulation. And also he discovered he discovered the double circulation of the blood. I will explain you all these things, why he is considered as the father of blood circulation, and why he discovered the double circulation, and what was the purpose of the double circulation, and why should we know the details of the double circulation. And also he is the first person to explain about the valves in the heart. Valves in the heart. And he discovered valves of the heart, and also he explained that the quantity of the blood, what is that? The quantity of the blood, which is sent by the heart in an hour equal to the weight of the body by 3 times. What is that? Weight of the body by 3 times. And this was discovered and this was explained by the William Harvey. He explained that the quantity of the blood which is sent by the heart in an hour equal to the weight of the body by 3 times, and this was explained by William Harvey. And also he is considered as the father of blood circulation, and he discovered the valves in the heart, and there are 2 types of valves are there, that is tricuspid valve and bicuspid. I will explain in the internal structure of the heart. And also he is the first person to give the complete details of the circulatory system. But one other scientist is there, he is the guru of William Harvey, he is nothing but Girolamo Fabrici. What is that? Girolamo Fabrici is a person, he is the guru of William Harvey. And who is that guru? He is nothing but Girolamo Fabrici, and he belongs to a country named as Italy. He belongs to Italy. And Girolamo Fabrici, what was the discovery of the Girolamo Fabrici? Girolamo Fabrici discovered the valves in the veins of the legs. What is that? Valves in the veins of the legs. And you know what is the vein and what is the artery and what is the blood capillary? We should know the differentiations between the artery, vein and the blood capillaries. Understand? Got my point? Yes, come to that. And the person who is concerned with the circulatory system after the William Harvey in this context is Girolamo Fabrici. Who is that? Girolamo Fabrici, and he belongs to Italy, so that he was an Italian doctor. Understand? He discovered one-way valves. What is that? One-way valves in the veins of the leg. You know what was the function of the vein? We should know the basic function of the vein. Fine. And the veins and arteries and blood capillaries, all those collectively called as blood vessels. What is that? Blood vessels. And he discovered the one-way valves in the veins of the leg. And then in this context, the blood vessels are of majorly 2 types, that is artery and the second one is vein. What is that? First one is artery and second one is the vein. You know what? Both the artery and vein is made up of a single cells, that is nothing but endothelial cells. Understand? Endothelial cells. Even the WBC also can squeeze these blood vessels. Understand? And also arteries and veins are also made up of endothelial cells. And come to the artery and come to the vein. And I will explain you I will give you the complete details of the artery. And this is the artery, and these arteries carries oxygenated blood from the oxygenated blood from the hearts towards the body parts, which means arteries are also one of the type of blood vessels which carries blood from the heart to the different body parts. Understand? But which type of blood does the arteries carries? That is called as oxygenated blood. Why it is so called as oxygenated? That means the blood which possesses oxygen as the chief component on that aspect, and that is called as oxygenated blood. And what was the other name of the oxygenated blood? And the other name of the oxygenated blood is pure blood. What is that? Pure blood. And oxygen get facilitated in the presence of RBC. Why these are preserved or facilitated in the RBC? Because the RBC do not possess the nucleus. So there is a hollow space inside the RBS, so that it facilitates the oxygen, so that the hemoglobin carries or the RBC carries the oxygen. Understand? And this is what called as oxygenated or pure blood, and such type of pure blood can be carried in the presence of artery. But one exception is there. What was the exception? The exception of this topic is all arteries carries oxygenated blood from the heart towards the different body parts. But in this case, one artery is there, that is pulmonary artery. What is that? Pulmonary artery, which carries deoxygenated blood. That means which possesses carbon dioxide as a chief component. Deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs for the purpose of purification. This is what very important aspect in the circulatory system. And come to the next one. The next thing is vein. What is that? Vein. And what is the function of the vein? The function of the vein is to carry the deoxygenated blood. What is that? The function of the vein is it carries deoxygenated blood, which is having the carbon dioxide as a chief component from the body parts to the heart. But here one exception is there. Another vein is there, pulmonary vein, which carries oxygenated blood from the lungs towards the heart, and this was another exception. Understand? Where the blood capillaries plays an important role, which makes an establishment between the arteries and veins. That was the function of blood capillaries. And who discovered the blood capillaries? The blood capillaries was discovered by Marcello Malpighi. He belongs to Italy. It is very, very important. And all these are the basics of the circulatory system. In the next video, we will discuss about the internal structure of the heart and anatomical and physiological functions of the circulatory system, and what the role they plays an important role in our daily activities and also in the metabolic activities. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned.